of a new week, of a new month, like everything is just new, new, new. And this is a new subject brought to you by STEM Lockdown Digital School. This is the first lesson of the new subject. Yes, yes, I welcome everybody. This is lesson number one. Everybody, welcome. Wow, I'm so excited to see your names, some new names. And we are going to learn, we are going to become better communicators. Woo! I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Let me just calm down and start with the lesson. Let us get to know each other. And in case you are wondering where you are, I am sure that you are at the right place. I'm sure you're at the right place because this is English home language for grade 7. I am your presenter, Jikimuyeng, and I will continue to be your presenter. Yes, thank you so much for joining us in the first ever lesson for English grade 7 home language. Thank you for joining us. I welcome everyone, every one of you. You are all welcome. You are all welcome to STEM Lockdown Digital School Classroom. A classroom on an online platform is going to be good. It's going to be fun. You're going to learn at the comfort of your own homes, at the comfort of your own rooms, right? Okay, all right. If you are there on the chat, please say hi to us. Let us see who is here with us. Like I said, this is English grade 7. This is English grade 7 home language. You are all welcome. You are all welcome. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun. And I hope everyone, you are ready. Your phones are fully charged. Your tablets have enough battery for the lesson of the day. It's going to be a very cons- conversational topic, a very conversational lesson. Yes, yes, yes. Yep, I really mean it. So, in case you are wondering what the first lesson could be about, so the first lesson is, something very interesting. It falls under listening and speaking in your syllabus, and it is debating. Okay, so we will be learning about what debating is, all right? The reasons for the why of debating. I know some of you right now are wondering why are you learning this in school. Yeah. Stick around in the lesson and you will get to know why, as well as the benefits of debating. What do you benefit as a learner, as a person, for learning about debate, for participating in a debate? Stick around and we'll learn that, as well as how to prepare for a debate. Okay, yes. The reason we are doing this, guys, is it's in your syllabus, and if it wasn't for the lockdown and you were at your respective schools, this is what you would be doing this week. Okay, so yes, you would have been doing an oral activity, which is part of assessment for you, you know and yes, you really were going to debate. Okay, so there really is nothing different about this online platform. The only difference is that you are at the comfort of your own homes and you are not wearing your respective school uniform, right? Yes, so this is what the lesson of the day will be all about. Okay, and if you have questions, if you have concerns, with what we will be doing today, the chat is open. Okay, you can text your questions in the group chat there, and as soon as I see your question come up, I will attend to it. I promise you. Yes, and also if you have a question, you can also raise your hand and we will give you a chance to speak. Yes, we will give you a chance to speak. Even if even as you hear my voice at the moment, I will also like to hear your voices and really enjoy, and try to emulate a classroom situation as far as possible on this online platform. Okay, all right. Now, I wish I could recap from what we did in the previous lesson, but since this is our first lesson, there is nothing to recap for today. So it's all good. It's all okay. It's fine. This is where we start. This is where we begin. So let us get started. Right. So speaking. I know, you are in grade 7. You are most likely in, you are about 11 to 14 or 15 years old, and that is how long you've been speaking. You've been speaking for more than 10 years now, and you're probably wondering, why are we doing speaking? Why? I mean, we can speak. What is there to learn about speaking? Okay, there really is so much to learn about speaking. Um, Simply because speaking is a very valuable asset. It is a very valuable as it is a very valuable asset for you learners at the present moment in time, and also eventually in the future. No matter what you want to be, whether you want to be a singer, whether you want to work behind a desk on a computer, whether you want to become a teacher, a lawyer, it doesn't matter what career aspirations you have. You will realize that speaking is a very valuable asset. It is a skill that which you need in your life, okay, in your personal life right now, and also in your professional life later in the future. All right, okay. So as a result of that, you should be taught, and you should also be groomed to talk with ease and with accuracy. So it should really get to a point where speaking is a second nature to you, in as much as walking. I mean, you know that when you walk, you do not think about where your right foot will step on and where your left foot will step on. Okay, you just walk. Okay, I mean, when you go to the grocery store or to the spaza shop nearby to buy bread, you do not count your steps, do you? Or you do not really consider how your feet are stepping on the ground. You don't. That's second nature to you. So even with speaking, that is why we are doing English. That is why we are learning about these things, so that they will come a second nature to us. Okay. So yeah, it is like you yourself, you are thinking, okay, I think we may think of it like this. Okay, you are like your smartphone. You are like your favorite smartphone, and for your favorite smartphone to really do everything you want it to do, you know that you have to download apps. I mean, you have to download an app for Instagram, an app for Facebook. You have to download your WhatsApp to talk to your friends. You have to download that car racing game because you love car racing games. You have to download that picture editor app because you love taking pictures. You have to download that, like all these kind of apps that you should need. Because if your phone is just a phone without all these apps, you will be limited in all that which you will need to do. Okay, so it is the same as you with a person. Okay, without all these skills, without all the knowledge that which we are teaching you here at school, then you will be stunting yourself. Okay, you'll be stunting your growth as an individual, and you'll also be choking your potential. Okay, you will not be able to reach the full potential that which you can reach. Okay, and there will always be a glass ceiling for you, there will always be a limit for you. And here at school, we are empowering you to break that limit that which will be there if you are not learning. Okay, so this is why we learn, and this is why also with speaking we learn how to speak, so that we can groom our speaking skills. Remember, every skill that which you have, you become better at it, you become more proficient when you practice and also when you use it. It is also with speaking. Okay, right. Okay, let's continue. Okay, since you are talking about the debate, remember the speaking process, it has two stages. Number one is planning. That is when you research and you organize what you will want to say. And number two is practicing and presenting. Okay. And it is also how your brain works. Okay. Before you say anything, your brain does these two things, but it does them at a very high speed, and you will never realize that this happens. Okay. So if you see something which is beautiful, something that which is adorable, what your brain does is that your brain does see this wonderful, adorable thing. Not only that, it also finds a way to complement that beautiful thing. Okay, so if you see a beautiful red SUV there, your brain says it, your brain says it, and your brain really researches and organizes information or the words that which you're going to say. Not only that, but it also has a way of presenting those words. So if you love that red SUV, then your brain will make your voice to be excited, and you say, "Wow, that's a very beautiful SUV car." So yeah, even your brain does that. So it's just that with your brain, that that process really happens very fast. It takes less than a second for that to happen. But with us with debate, it will take us longer. And in the remainder of the lesson, I will be showing you how this works, how we do this. Okay. And this is something I wish I knew when I was in high school, when I was in primary school. So yes, like things have changed, and you get to know this earlier. All right. So we are number one. The first step will be to plan, which is researching and organizing. Okay. So when you plan, you think about using the appropriate register, style, and voice according to the audience, the purpose, the context, as well as the theme of the debate. Okay. So this really shows us how important planning is with such things. Okay, it is really like building a house. Okay, before you build the house, you should have a plan about how big the house is, how many rooms will be in the house, where the doors of those rooms will be, etc., etc., so that when the building project of the house starts, then you'll be able to build the house to your liking, the way you want it to be. All right. Then you should also think about using appropriate language. Okay, you should be careful about the choice of words that we should use, and remember that with debate we do not use slang. Okay, we do not use colloquial language. Your what do I mean when I say that? I mean your LOLs. Your BTWs when you want to say by the way, your TBH when you want to say to be honest, and stuff like that. Okay, so reserve those for your WhatsApp. Reserve those for your WhatsApp conversations. When it comes to debates, we do not use those. All right. So when it comes to the debate, we do not use those. We make sure that our choice of words is very appropriate and fitting for the task at hand, which is the debate. All right. So when you use appropriate language or choice of words, remember action verbs. Okay. Remember verbs are doing words, and we have two types of verbs. Okay, we have several types of verbs. Okay, we have the finite verb. We also have the auxiliary verb. Okay, we will be revising those in the upcoming lessons. Since this is the first one, we just can't start with everything. Okay, so if you do not understand that, it is okay, it is fine. And one thing you can do is that at this point in time, you can think of all those sections that which you find difficult, and you can use our hashtag lockdown eschool hashtag, to just tell us. Okay, you can also use my Twitter handle. You can mention me on Twitter. Okay, and you can also mention me on Twitter about all those that we should find difficult, so that we can really start with them. Okay, so that we can start with those things, so that we can be able to fix those things, because very soon you guys will be going back to school, and you should really be preparing you for that, and as well as to help you with whatever you may be struggling with at this point in time. So remember, if you have questions, concerns, if you are lost about what we are doing at the moment, the chat is open. Please use it. Use our group chat. Ask your questions. My chat is also open so that I can see your questions as far as you text them, as far. Okay, are we all together, guys? Right. So remember also, other things to use are adjectives. Remember, adjectives are descriptive words. Adjectives are those words which tell us about a noun. You remember, right? So for example, when I say beautiful girl, the word beautiful becomes our adjective because it tells us about the girl. All right, okay. And also there are comparative and superlative degrees. What are those? Those are when we use adjectives when we compare two or three things or more. Okay, so we use the degrees of comparison of adjectives. Okay, so if you are struggling with that, please please mention it me on Twitter, and then I'll be able to see which lessons to prepare first. Okay, which things to really do first so that we can better help you. All right. Okay. Okay, and another choice of words was to do with synonyms and antonyms. Okay, remember synonyms are those words which mean this are those words which mean the same thing, and antonyms are those words which are the opposite of each other. Okay, all right, and we have other things such as homophones. Homophones are those words which sound the same when they are spoken. Yes, homophones, they sound the same when they're spoken. When they are pronounced, they sound the same, but they are spelled in different ways and they mean different things. Okay, so for example, sun sun as well as sun sun. Okay, the sun sun is that big ball in the sky which gives us light and heat, and the sun son is a male child. Okay, yes, things like that. So remember, if there is any of these things in this list that which you do not understand, I would like to have you to mention me at Twitter, or you can also use the group chat now so that we can see which things we may have to deal with first. Okay, right. Then we have homonyms, which are words which are the same, they are spelled the same, they sound the same, but they mean different things. Okay, all right. Then we also have figures of speech. Yes, figures of speech. There is several of them. The hyperbole, the simile, etc., etc. Okay. Then we have idioms. Yep. We have proverbs, tone, mood, or humor. Okay, that's very important. That in a debate, the way you speak, your tone, your mood, and also humor, they are very important. Another thing will be abbreviations. You remember what abbreviations are? Abbreviations are the shortened form of words, right? Then we have prefixes and suffixes. Okay, so prefixes are the words which appear at the start of a word. Suffixes are the words which appear at the end of the word. And both prefixes and suffixes, they affect the meaning of a word. Okay, and not only that, you also have gender, plurals, as well as diminutives. Okay, so you see that in a debate, when you are researching, when you are planning your debate, it really has to do with a lot of things. Okay, so all those things you may really need to use them. Maybe not all, but most of them will have to be used so that you will be able to better prepare yourself for a very good debate, which will be enlightening to everybody. It will be entertaining, and to you as a person, it will also help you to grow, you know, as a better communicator, as a learner. All right, okay, let's move on. Okay, so we're still on planning where we research and we organize our facts. So remember here, that is when, remember you're still planning, right? So in your plans, you should plan about giving facts and expressing your opinions, all right? And with every fact and every opinion you give, it will be good to really have, you know, some reasons why you are saying what you say. Express denotative and connotative meaning, as well as the implied meaning of the words you should be using. You need to express values, some attitudes, bias, stereotypes. emotive language, persuasive language, manipulative language, okay? And sometimes you may have to use resources such as dictionaries, thesaurus, to select some vocabulary you may need to use. And in this technology age, sometimes that may mean Google, I mean, if you want a synonym for the word beautiful and you do not have a thesaurus, you can just search, you can just search synonyms for beautiful, and then you will find a list of them that which you can use. All right, so are we all together so far? Remember, guys, I do not want to be here alone. I do not want to leave anybody behind. So if by any chance you are behind, please, the group chat is open. Use it to ask a question, and we will attend to it. I promise you that my chat is also open, and as soon as I see your question, I would attend to it. All right, okay. So now we'll be going to step two. Step two should be practicing and presenting. All right, so step two will be about practicing or presenting. Okay, practicing and presenting. So remember, with step two, you are done with your planning. You have your facts. You have everything that which you need, and you have everything that which you need. So you will really have to deliver them on a debate. Okay, right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. So remember, you will be speaking directly to the audience, right? So that is how a debate is. You'll be speaking directly. You will be speaking directly to the audience, right? And then that is what you do in a debate. And then you need also to refer to the relevant sources that you have consulted. Okay. So if maybe you used Wikipedia, please, if you use Wikipedia, please refer to it that according to Wikipedia, you found one, two, three things that which you will be saying in your debate. Okay. Remember also to include a range of facts and examples according to the requirements of your debate. Okay. Remember also to use effective introduction and conclusion. Okay. We all know that, right? That every piece of writing, and even you when you'll be speaking, there should be an introduction. There should also be the body as well as the conclusion. All right, okay. And remember also you should be able to develop ideas and arguments, okay? So your facts should always, always, always go together. Remember also that you use the elements of speech forms, like I said, the introduction, okay, the transitions, the body, as well as the conclusion. All right. Okay. So we're still on practicing and presenting. So here you also I have to use the following organizational structures. So here you will make sure that whatever you say, it is in chronological order, all right? So if then let's say you are telling us about the COVID-19 pandemic, okay? So you'll be speaking to us in chronological order. You'll be talking about where it started and when it did start, okay? That okay, it was first discovered in December in China, and then it was declared it it was declared a pandemic in March. Two weeks later in March, then there was a lockdown which lasted, and all this and so on and so forth. Yes. And also remember your structure should also be topical. So that means that you should keep to the topic. Okay. If you're talking about the COVID-19 pandemic, please keep it to the pandemic. Don't talk about TB or HIV or all these other conditions, right? Because we'll be talking, because in this regard, we are talking about the COVID-19, so we keep it at that. Then also remember the cause and effect relationship, okay? That sometimes you may need to talk about why things are the way they are, Maybe you may need to talk about, okay, if you're talking about the pandemic, you can say that now it is the lockdown. It has been the lockdown for the past 2 months because because of the increase of infections, because of the increase of new cases. Okay, so because of that rate of cases, of new cases, then there had to be the lockdown as a way to try to flatten the curve. So things like that are very helpful, and they really help to make your argument to be so strong. Yes, and also you may need to compare and to contrast things. Compare some two things to try to deliver your point across. Okay, and sometimes you may need to really give a solution to the problem which may be in hand. Okay, right. Then there will come a time where you need to present, okay, to present your clear argument, okay. And for that, when you present your argument, you will have to choose appropriate types of proof, okay. Sometimes you may need to use statistics, okay, like you can say that, okay, before the lockdown, in the rate of infections were two people a day, but then a week before the lockdown, the rate of infection was like 50 people a day, and that's too much. And yeah. So that is a statistics. You may need to use that. Sometimes you may need to use the testimony of a person. If maybe you know of somebody who was infected but they have since recovered, then you can really use that testimony. All right. And as well as some examples, okay? And whatever information you use, whatever proof that we should use, you should make sure that that proof is credible, that your proof, we can believe it, it is believable. And as well as your proof should also be valid, okay, that if we don't believe you, we can be able to check it for ourselves and find it to be true. And it should also be relevant to the topic of the debate. Okay, and you should also remember that when you address the people, remember to be formal. Say things such as ladies and gentlemen. We know that you are in grade 7, you are 12 years old, 13, 14, maybe even 15. But remember, even e- even in that way, please don't say boys and girls, okay? This is formal, okay? Give everybody some due respect. Instead of saying boys and girls, just say ladies and gentlemen, okay? Yes, thank you so much. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to emphasize that blah 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 blah, whatever that which you'll be saying, whatever that which would be your viewpoint. All right, okay. Remember, guys, is anybody with a problem? Is there anybody who doesn't understand anything here? Please, the chat is open for you. Please use the chat or raise up your hand, and we'll unmute you and give you a chance to speak. All right. Still on practicing and presenting, you'll also need to use appropriate language structures and conventions that which you may have learned in term 1. What are those? Such as finite verbs, okay, and auxiliary verbs to express the tense and the mood accurately. Remember, if you also have questions or challenges with this section of your work in English, please let us know so that we can go through it sooner rather than later. All right. Okay. Then parts of speech to express day-to-day oral communication as well. Okay. All right. And remember also, sometimes you can also use rhetorical questions. Okay. Rhetorical questions. Remember what's a rhetorical question? Those questions which do not have an answer because you know what the answer is. Yep. So such type of questions, use them. Sometimes you may need to pause to make your point to come across. Sometimes you may need to repeat what you just said so that people can listen to you and take what you are saying seriously. Okay, remember also to use verbal and non-verbal techniques when you present, okay? Things such as your tone, That's very important. Okay. Your voice projection or your modulation. I remember us, when we started to debate, before we speak, before we start, they will say that we should use this voice projection where we will say voice projection out, hey, voice projection out, hey, voice projection out, hey. So you realize that what that does is that it helps to clear your throat. It kind of forms your vocal cords so that you will be able to project your voice louder, to project your voice. Yes, you project your voice louder and in a very commanding way, so that the way you speak and what you will be saying, people will listen and they will really pay attention to you. All right. Another thing we should be careful of is volume. Okay, your volume, the pitch of your voice. All right, because if you speak lowly, if you speak with a low volume, you may not be heard. But if you speak with a high volume, everybody will be able to hear you. So can you tell the difference? If you speak with a low volume, people may not hear you. But if you speak with a loud volume, everybody will be able to hear you. Okay, so that is also one thing that which is very, very important. All right, so we also, another thing will be the pace or the tempo. So the pace, really, it is the speed at which you talk, the speed at which you speak. Okay. So if you speak too fast, then nobody will really hear what you want to say, and then you really lose everyone. Did you hear what I just said? So you realize that if you speak too fast, you will really miss people. People will really get lost. People will really get lost if you really speak too fast. And some people can really will not be able to hear what you're saying, and it will be very easy for them to really misunderstand what you'll be saying because you'll be speaking too fast. Okay. So yeah, that is the thing. Speaking too fast, people will not be able to catch everything that you should say. All right, so it will really be difficult for them to really understand what you're trying to say. And on the other hand, if you speak too slow, people may get bored and lose interest in what you are trying to say to them. And if you are speaking that slow, we will feel like time is moving so slow, and we would be so bored since we would be looking forward to doing other activities. So I just spoke slow. I mean, did you really feel how that makes you feel? How did that make you feel when I was speaking so slow like that? Okay, so by doing that, I was showing you how important the pace or the tempo really is. Okay, so if you speak too slow, you will really bore people. Everybody will be bored. If you speak too fast, people will be confused and they will not get your point. But if you speak moderately with a moderate pace, with a moderate tempo, then we can be able to really listen to you. You can be able really to listen to you, to understand what you're trying to communicate, and to take it seriously. All right, are we all together? So that really is the difference that the pace or the tempo makes. All right. Then remember phrasing, the way that which you speak is also important. So you should make sure that you speak in a way that everybody will be able to understand you. Okay. Yes. Remember also the thing of eye contact. Okay, you can never speak to people looking down. You should maintain eye contact. Okay, when you debate, look at everybody in the room. Look at everybody in the room. What that does is that it establishes you as a very confident person. And if you are that confident, then we will also be confident in you. We will also be confident in what you're trying to say. So with your confidence, then we will say, oh, whatever this person has to say to us is very important. It is something worth listening, and therefore we should really listen to you. Okay. So if you do not maintain eye contact, I don't know, this is crazy. But for some people, for some of us, if you do not maintain eye contact when you speak to us, we will think that you really are not speaking to us. Maybe you're speaking to yourself, and therefore we will not listen to you. Whatever you say, we do not care. All right. Yeah. Remember also your facial expressions, they also do say a lot. So if you're speaking of something sad, do not look happy. Okay. And if you're speaking of something serious, please do not look like you are a clown. Okay, so your facial expressions really have to go with what you are saying. So if you're talking about the high death tolls, that is something sad. So your face could really be sad to really demonstrate that. But if you're talking about something good, like wow, the vaccine has been found for this COVID-19 pandemic, then even your facial expressions should express that. Okay, you should be happy. Your face should be glowing to show that, oh, you really are happy. I mean, it is a good thing that there is a vaccine for, you know, for a pandemic. Yes. And you should also remember the way you use your gestures and your body language is very important. Okay. It is not just about your eyes, it is not just about your face, it is not just about the volume of your voice or the projection of your voice, but it is also about the gestures you make. What do you do with your hands? Okay. How do you stand? What do you do with your arms and legs? You know, what is the posture of your back? What is the posture of your belly? All these things, all these gestures, and all this body language, they do say something to us. Okay, so you should also be careful. So you should really be careful of them. All right, you should also be careful of them because all these things, that is how important they really are. Okay, so yes, this is a debate. Okay, you realize that in as much as a debate is about what you will be speaking, but it is also about how you would be speaking it. Remember that with communication, communication is twofold. Communication can be verbal, no, verbal communication when we speak, and again, communication is non-verbal. Okay, what makes it non-verbal is the mannerisms that we should do. Okay, you know, the things that we should do, the things that we should do, such as the mannerisms that we should do with your hands. Okay, what is it that you do with your hands? What is it that you do with your neck? All these things, they do tell us something. So if maybe you are there, you are talking, your hands are in your pockets, or you folded your hands, we take it that you are nervous, and whatever that which you say, and whatever that which you say would also be taken in that way. Okay, so yeah, if then you are not confident in yourself, we will take it that you also are not confident in what you're saying. And if you are saying something that which you do not believe in, why should we believe in it? Okay, so yeah, that is really something that you're really looking into. Okay, so if there's anyone with a question, you can raise your hand, we can unmute you to ask, or you can use our group chat which is open to ask your question, and I promise you that I will get back to your question. I will answer it and I would help you. So, okay, I'm only left with 7 minutes before the lesson ends. So, I will use this few minutes to recap what we did, okay, and to take questions if they will be there, right? So, in today's lesson, we learned about what debating is, right? That with a debate, there is a topic there, and we discussed that topic. Everybody has, you know, yeah. So tomorrow we'll still continue with the debate, but tomorrow what we are going to do is we are going to tell you how a debate is conducted, who are the people in a debate, what do they do, and stuff like that. Okay, yes. And another thing we are going to do tomorrow is that we are going to debate. I'm going to come with a very interesting topic that which all of us can debate about, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be enjoyable. I promise you. You do not want to miss tomorrow's lesson. Right. So what we did today is we learned about what the debate is, right? We learned about it, what a debate is. You also learned about how to prepare for it, that you really may need to use several sources, many things you may really need to use when you prepare for a debate. Okay, the reasons for the why of debate, I did say that it is part of speaking, and you should really get to a point where speaking is second nature to you, that you can stand before people and speak. You can stand before people and talk out. You can stand before people and say what you think about certain things, right? That is the skill that which you all need to have. And it doesn't matter what career you want to be, okay? It doesn't matter what you want to be when you grow up. And it is not only about your career aspirations, but also right now. Imagine if right now you really can't speak for yourself, you really can't express yourself. What's that? Because, guys, the thing is, the only way that people can know the the only way that the people can know how sorry the only way that people can know what you think is when they hear you say what you want to say. Okay, so we have Megan. Megan has a question for us. Hello, Megan. Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, Megan, we can hear you. What is your question?
Can I just say something? The way you pronounce my name is Megan. It's silent.
Sorry, Megan.
Or
I can't hear you anymore.
can you hear me now?
Okay, that's much better. Yes, you can proceed to ask your question.
Sir,
Yes.
we it's Megan. And my question is, if someone's motionless while I listen to you, how would you like see if they are being sarcastic or something? Around about that.
I really didn't hear. I didn't hear all of your question. Can you please type it for me? I don't know if maybe it's my speaker here or something, but okay, Megan, let's try again. Let's try again. Let's try again, Megan.
Okay.
Okay, yes,
Okay.
Megan, you are back on. So,
Okay.
do you have your headsets on, or are you speaking directly to your phone?
I'm on a device. I don't have earphones or anything on.
Okay, because I can hear you, but I can't hear you well. Okay, let's try again. What were you saying that time?
Sir, if someone's motionless while I'm speaking to you, how would you see if they are being sarcastic? Do you hear by the voice or do you see something else in body language?
Okay, that's a very wonderful question, Megan. Okay, let me unmute you and okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. Let me not unmute you in case you have a follow-up question. So in such a case, if somebody says one thing verbally, right, but their body language is saying something different to what they are saying, right? So in that case, the best bet you can take is their body language, okay? Because their body language, it really comes from something at the back of our minds that which we cannot control, okay? You can control what you are saying, but you cannot really control your body language, okay? So yes, so the body language really is what will give you away. Your non-verbal communication, your body language, it is what will give you away. Right now, Megan, you can tell us that you are a very confident girl, right? But if we see that you say that with a shaking voice, and if you can see that you are also shaking, right, and you exhibit those behaviors of people who are not self-confident, like looking down, like taking as little space as you can, then from your body language you can see that no, you really are not confident. You really are a shy person. You are not as confident as you say you are. You see,
Mm,
you do understand that now?
yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, so the best bet really is to look at the person's non-verbal communication, and you realize that even when you do a debate in class, that is what they look at. Even when you are going to participate in those competitions where you debate or where you do public speaking, a lot of score is really assessed about your body language, because the body language, it really says a lot about you and also about what you're saying. Okay. Thank you so much, Megan. Thank you so much. Is there any other question? I'm left with a minute before the lesson ends. Thank you so much, Megan. That was a very wonderful question. And okay, tomorrow I hope that tomorrow we will apply all these things that we have learned today. So tomorrow on the chat and also here I will unmute you if you want. Okay, then right, tomorrow this is our topic we will be debating on. All right, so tomorrow our debate will be about summer is better than winter. Okay, which side are you on? Okay, so you can take the rest of the day to just decide which side are you on. Do you believe that summer is better than winter? Why? Or do you believe that winter is better than summer? Why? Okay, whichever way you take it, we want to know the reasons why. Okay, so this is what we'll be debating about tomorrow. So please make sure you've charged your tablet, your phone, your headsets are working properly, that you drink some hot water, you do some good voice projections. Tomorrow we are going to debate, and I'm telling you guys, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be amazing. Although the lesson is over, the conversation is not. Please follow us on social media, your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Please use the hashtag lockdown eSchool to talk to us. We want to hear your comments, your compliments, your complaints. How did you find the lesson of the day? Yes, all those things you want to hear about them so that we can improve to better save you guys. Okay. Although the lesson is over, the conversation is not. So let us meet again tomorrow, same time, same place. I love you guys. Looking forward to knowing you more. Looking forward to more lessons with you. It's going to be great. We are going to learn together. I love you all, guys. From all of us here at STEM Lockdown Digital School, bye bye. Keep well and take care. See you tomorrow.